bargaining for between the school district Palm Beach County and ASOP. So I'll get started. Go. So this is a sample agenda, not sample agenda. This is the agenda. We'll go through, some introductions first, discuss the district proposals, hear the union's proposals, and then discuss the next steps. So first with introductions, Mr. Attica, if you'd like to introduce your team. Put everybody's name up here, but I think it's a little easier to go through it this way than everybody chiming in and themselves. So
Okay, joining me today is myself, Robert Attica, president of ASOP and chief negotiator. On my negotiating team today, I have Latwanda Wilkins in the ESE department. I have Vivian Aponte, who's a community language facilitator at Osceola Creek Middle. Stephen Voss, who's my acting vice president, who's in ITSA at Addison Meisner. Lynn Rennie, who is the adult education secretary for Boca Raton High School, and Tessa Valdez, who is a data processor at Westgate Elementary School. That is my negotiating team.
Excellent. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Nice to meet you virtually. And Ms. Valdez, I remember you from when I worked at Westgate. So
come back anytime you'd like, Tim.
I do. I would like to visit sometime. It's been a while. So all right. Thank you. And so on our team, I'm Tim Kubrick, manager in labor relations. Chief of staff Jay Bogus is, I'm not sure if he's joining us right now, but he is on our team as well. We have Heather Frederick, chief financial officer, Mark Mitchell, director of compensation and employee information services, Lori Barefoot, who's manager in compensation and employee information services. We have Kevin McCormick, who's director of exceptional student education. And we have Jean Marie Middleton, a senior attorney in the Office of General Counsel. So thank you to my team for being here as well. So next, this is going to be a quick one because we don't have a whole lot to bring. What we are bringing forward is, we will eventually be bringing forward is salary, the compensation piece. So potential proposals, we are in the process of reviewing these now. What we did is different than what a lot of other districts did, who have already jumped into an agreement before the legislative session ended. What we chose to do, because there were a lot of moving parts and a lot of things changing, and funding is critical in order to really address this salary, proposals and things like that. So we waited until the legislative session was completed before we really would want to bring anything like that forward. So we are in the process of going through that, and our intent is to bring any proposals or counter proposals to whatever you propose in a future meeting. Any questions? Okay. So that is all the district. Other than that, the district is not seeking any language changes in the agreement. And here we'll turn it over to you, Mr. Attica.
Okay, I do not have a PowerPoint presentation to show with you today, but I will verbally express some of the concerns that we have. Referring to a document that was submitted by Vicki Evans Pere in Professional Standards, going over the matrix for progressive discipline.
Standard operating procedures?
Standard operating procedures manual. We were under the impression when we go to represent employees that in the progressive disciplinary process, that once let's say somebody gets a reprimand, it stays on their record for a calendar year, and after that point, if no related incidents to that original reprimand occur, that after that 12-month period, they have to start from the beginning. But as we looked at as outlined in the contract itself, it doesn't have that provision in there, but the CTA contract does, and we would like language to match what CTA has in that regard. Okay, and
So let's hold up. I just want to make sure we're clear. So what we're talking about is how long the record stays on file at the school or department, correct?
right, and basically in the disciplinary process now, let's say somebody is written up for insubordination. Okay, as long as if a like incident occurs or an incident related to the to that incident, it's been standard operating procedure that if they become insubordinate again within a calendar year, then you go to step 2 in the progressive disciplinary process. And then if something happens within a calendar year of that incident, then you go to step 3. And so that, but the way that we see the language in the actual manual, there is no real time limit, and we just want written contract language to match what we actually practice in the school district.
And that's 1 year.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. There were concerns about usage of sick time during the for the purposes of doctor's appointments, and again, standard operating procedure from department to department may vary, but at a lot of schools, it's accepted practice that you can use your sick leave for the purposes of going to a doctor's appointment, and we'd like that added into the contract under leaves. So
is this for when you are sick, or is this for something else?
Well, any medical reason, we would like the right to use our sick time in that regard. So, I mean, it's essentially your doctor's appointments, and as you know, as standard practice in reality, they have the same hours of banks, which coincide with the operating hours of most people that work in the school district. So it would make sense that we be allowed to use our paid sick leave, for this time instead of using personal leave or some other thing, because some people have serious medical issues and they may need to go to see a doctor very often. It won't be for the entire day, but we would like the option for them to be able to charge that to their sick leave balance. It's a zero cost effect to the school district because they already have the time. We just want, again, to have this codified in the contract so that if there is an issue with a certain director or principal at a school, that takes issue with this, that we have a standardized way of doing things across the school district.
So this is so days where, let's just say, in the contract right now, you have sick days that you can use when you're sick, or if you're taking care of somebody in your house who's sick, right? So this is more for days where you're planning something in advance, I'm assuming.
It's planned in advance, but in most circumstances, we should have somewhere written in there that it should have the every effort should be made to have a minimal impact on on the time that you're working. But it's, let's face it, it's not always an option in most cases to be able to avoid taking time off for doctor's visits. It's just,
are personal days not? Why are personal days not okay for this?
because the constraint on personal days is you're limited to 6, and in some cases the complaint is that some people are seriously have serious conditions, and they may exceed those days, and then at that point it becomes a little bit of a dispute. Now, this is to say that everybody's following the rules and doing the procedures and not abusing leave. But we have to accept within good faith that some people are, have more health conditions than others in the bargaining unit. So we want at least this ability for them to be able to take that sick leave without issue. And as I said, this is at many schools, in departments, this is already put into practice. This is again just lining up what many places already do.
Okay. How big of an issue would you say this is?
Anecdotally, I've had some people who have brought this up. I don't want to say it's a huge issue across the entire school district. As I said, most directors and principals don't care generally, as long as you have the leave balance to fulfill that budget. But again, I can't see a lot of opposition at the department or school level, because this is probably already being done. But again, we just want it written in there so that it's a level playing field for everybody across the district. We'd like to pause right now, if you don't mind, and go into caucus for a minute and then resume.
Sure.
Okay, Tim, is there a way to go into a breakout session on this?
Never even set one of those up yet, but let me see.
Tim, if you go to the diamond, the square in the little box in the far right-hand corner, there is a function for breakout rooms if you're the host.
Yeah, Caitlin, I think you would need to do this.
I'm seeing it now.
Okay.
And I'll just rejoin the main room once we're done caucusing.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I think we're good.